Hello guys! So for my first YouTube video, I'm going to be showing you today how to get this, I'm calling it spring angel look. It's a little bit glamorous, but it's still very wearable, but it's still a little bit fun. And just an FYI, my lighting does keep changing throughout the video because the sun goes and comes because it's kind of cloudy today. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you do like it, comment, subscribe, leave me suggestions of what you guys would like to see, because I will definitely be making more videos, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Right now I'm going to be zooming you guys in because we are going to start straight with the eyes. So I'll see you in a bit. Alright, and to get started, I had already prepped my face a little bit, meaning I put a little bit of moisturizer on with SPF in it because I live in a hot state, so I need my SPF protection. And I put a little bit on this just because I'm going to use another moisturizer later on since it's going to be a more dewy look. And then I already did my eyebrows using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Ebony. And for the brush, I used the Bedazzling Tools 763. And on top of that, I used this Tarte Brow Gel in Black Brown. So, let's go ahead and prime our eyelids. I'm going to be using the Urban Decay, the original primer potion. And just use a little bit of it. That is probably enough. And I like to bring it up all the way up to the brow area because it kind of cleans up a little bit if you put some of the brow product up in there. Alright. And then using my Bedazzling Tools, this one actually doesn't have a number because I use it a lot, but it's just a small fluffy blending brush. I'm going to go ahead and grab Zone. We are going to be using the Gwen Stefani Urban Decay palette. So, Zone, is that right there? And you're going to want to focus most of it in the middle of your crease. Just work it in there. And then once you feel like you have most of the product off of the brush, you can go ahead and bring it down a little bit over this way and then into your inner corner. And then go back into blending all of it in that middle area of the crease. Because we want our eyes to appear a little bit rounder and bigger. And we'll achieve that by just kind of blending the darker colors in that area. And then once you are satisfied, you can go ahead and blend it out a little bit more with a bigger blending brush. So I'm going to be using the Bedazzling Tools 785. And I'm just going to focus this a little bit above the crease. This doesn't have any product in it. This is just to blend out. And then, just to make the eyes a tad bit rounder, we are going to go in with a Bedazzling Tools 780. It's just a pencil brush. And then I'm going to be grabbing the cooler tone brown of the palette, so that would be Anaheim. And I'm just going to dip it in there twice. And again, just focus the darker color right here in the center. And go ahead and blend it out with the 785. it is okay if it still seems like a little harsh at this point, because we're going to go in with the lighter shade all over the lid and we're going to blend everything together. So I'm going to grab my Bedellium Tool 775, which is practically like another fluffy blending brush, but it's flat. And we're going to grab Bath Water, which is like this champagne-y shimmery shade. And we're going to apply that, starting in the center and making our way all the way through the lid. And for the first sweep, you just want to keep it in the lid. So that was one, that's fine. And then you're going to grab a little bit more product and you're going to blend it upwards into the darker colors so that everything seems seamless in circular motions. Bring it all the way up. And then I'm gonna grab the one that doesn't have a number and blend through all over again. Just because once you grab the lighter shade, you might lose a little bit of color. So that'll just bring it back. And then we're gonna blend again with the one that didn't have any product. And you can start flicking this a little bit higher. So in circular motions, upwards. And we're gonna do the rest of the lower lash line after we're done with like our foundation and stuff. Alrighty, and then to prep the face and to erase any of our tiny mistakes, I'm going to be using the Promise Organics Ultra Moisturizing Argan Cream Facial Lotion with olive oil. So this is just one of the things that I got in one of my Ipsy glam bags one time, and I really like it. And since it has oil, the argan oil in it, it's going to give you a really luminous effect to your skin, which is what we're going for this look. So I'm going to use that much. Just dab it around all over the face. And we are going to be using 3 different primers, and I know that sounds like a lot, but it's only going to be like a little in a certain section. So first, which is the one we're going to use all over, I'm going to use the Philosophy Instant Miracle Worker. So this one is to blur out lines and like pores. And I've used other pore primers, but I don't like them because I feel like they're too drying for me. And it makes my skin look gross. But this one, on the other hand, I feel like it has a bit of a hydrating effect to it, like tiny bit, so that it'll take care of the lines and pores and wrinkles, but since it doesn't have like any silicone or anything like that, the makeup just goes on nicer. So that's gonna go all over the face, just lightly press it in. And then if you have any areas where like you have little bumps or dry patches from like, I don't know, acne or whatever, because I have a forehead situation going on, I would recommend using the Hangover Primer, which is a hydrating primer, just because this will make everything, like the makeup, just kind of slide over it so that it doesn't pick up any of like your dry patches and the makeup starts looking gunky. So this I'm only going to put up in this forehead area. Our last primer is going to be the Becca Backlighting Primer Filter, and this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's just going to be for that glow. And I was going to use a cream highlighter later on, but I misplaced it. So I'm going to go ham with this highlighter. But I'm not going to put any of my forehead, because what this does is it practically attracts light. And if you have like a forehead situation or any type of situation, you don't really want to put illuminating primer because it'll catch the light and it'll catch all like the bumps and stuff. It'll make them pop out and be more noticeable. So just focus it on the bridge of the nose and most of it really just on the cheeks. Alright, and then for foundation, we are going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Ultra Definition Liquid Makeup, which is my favorite. It's a medium, it's a light to medium coverage, but it is buildable. So for the problem areas, you might want to put a little bit more, but since we're going to go in with concealer anyways, that's not. And then I'm going to grab my, so I'm just going to, this was a full pump. I'm going to grab my Bedazzling Tools 955, which is a stippling brush, and I'm just going to kind of try and grab all of the product and dab it. I'll start in the forehead so that I can deposit most of it there since it is my problem area. And then I'll just drag it all over. And the reason why I usually just dump it on my face is because I feel like it kind of just sinks into the skin pretty quickly. So then I have to pump out more. So I'm just gonna do this. Just a little bit, not a lot. And then we are going to just kind of smooth everything out in circular motions with the stippling brush. And since this is going to be like a angel spring look, less is more. We don't want to look heavy. And then go ahead and bring whatever you have left down the neck so that everything looks blended. And then I'm going to grab my beauty blender really quickly and just pounce it and roll everywhere just to make sure that we don't have any lines, which I mean I don't get, but I don't know. I like to blend. Blend till I can blend no more, because that is the secret. Alrighty. And then we're going to go in with concealer. And I'm going to be using the Tarte Maracuja Creaseless. And I am in light medium sand. And little. We only need a little bit. So literally this is probably how much we're going to use. That little dot right there. And I'm going to put most of it in the inner corners of my eye, just because that's usually where the darkness starts, and that's pretty much all we want to conceal. And then you're going to just drag it out this way, and we don't want to take it down too far because we want everything to, although this is a look, it's like a glam look, but it's like very subtle. So we don't want to do like the intense highlighting like Kim Kardashian, which is all the way down in triangles. You could do a little bit because it's going to make it look a little bit more blended, but don't do a lot. Like this is perfectly fine. And then whatever you have left, I'm going to use in the forehead area so that it could cover the darkness. And what I like to do is if I have the problem right here and not necessarily all the way over here, I'll still just drag it all the way over here so that it like balances everything out. So I think I need a little bit more product. So just balance it over here. And then we're going to put some on the bridge of the nose for highlighting. And the Cupid's bow area. The lighting is changing. And just a little bit on the chin. And then I'm going to grab my beauty blender again and blend everything out. I'm going to blend everything out before the under eyes. And the nose area, I just want to blend a little bit because we're going to contour. I live for nose contour. So we're going to contour there, but so I don't want to blend all of it away just yet because it'll help me, a little bit of concealer there will help me blend out the darker shade. Alright. And so that now we have everything. You want to go back and forth in this. Usually this doesn't crease the concealer if you put just a little bit, but if it does, just keep blending it till it doesn't crease for a sec and then set it with a lot of powder. So practically bake it. That's the only way I have found my concealer not to crease if I put a lot of product on. If I put a little bit, then it usually doesn't, especially with this concealer. So once you are satisfied with how you blended everything, go ahead and I'm just going to grab like a regular sponge and it's not wet or anything. And I'm going to grab my Tarte Smooth Operator and just set. I usually use the Real Technique settings brush, but I had to move some stuff around and I'm not 100% sure where I left anything. So sometimes you gotta just work with what you got. So I'm making it work. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess right now. And if you start getting messy, just grab a fan brush and dust everything away. Situation. Okie dokie. And now for the contour. So for the face contour, we don't want it to be too intense because I don't know how many times I'm going to say this. It is going to be a more natural look. We're going to be spring angels, okay? So we want to look youthful, which is why, I mean, usually I think my eyebrows don't turn out this full, but for this look, you do want to go a little bit fuller, because fuller eyebrows equal more youthful, bigger eyes, more youthful. You know how when we were all babies, we all had like big eyes and big eyelashes and big eyebrows, big cheeks. So anyways, I'm going to be using the Shade and Light Contour Palette, and I'm going to use Subconscious, which is the lightest shade technically. I love this palette. I use it all the time. And I'm going to be using a Bedazzling Tools 964. So it's just really big and fluffy. I'm going to shake the excess out. And we're just going to focus it right, I like to smile all the time, but anyways, like, so right there, just to carve a little bit, see, but not too much. Just like that, and then kind of just move everything around. And just pretty much just one swipe. And then work it in there. For a more subtle, I mean, I think a little bit of powder is fine, but if you wanted something that blends a little easier, you could try like a, I don't have it here, but Urban Decay concealer pencils. Those are pretty creamy. Just blend everything out. And then grab that sponge from that setting, because I already forgot to set this area. Just set it. And I do spend most of my life blending away. So, blending is everything, just do it. Alright, that is pretty good. And then just, like I said, blending is everything. I just like to go in with the Beauty Blender, just to make sure everything's okay. And then for the nose contour, I like to use this Urban Decay Naked 3 brush. So it's just like a whole bunch of brushes that came in like a little case, and this is just straight brush. And what I like to do is grab something of a taupey color. Usually I grab the taupe color from the Tarte Lip Palette, but I don't feel like reaching for that now. So we're just going to use Anaheim, a little bit of it. So barely dip it in there. And then I like to look to the side so that I can see technically where the natural contour of it is, and just straight down like this. With this one. And then I like to cut it off right here a little bit earlier than my actual nose goes. And then we're gonna grab Subconscious. The only reason I grab a taupier one first is because I feel like gray tones look better in the nose than on the outer cheek area. Because if everything is warm, I feel like it looks weird. So again, Subconscious and Deposit. Most of it kind of on the tip at this point. You don't have to worry too much about up here, but just put a little bit on there. And then you can grab the same brush and just kind of blend it out up and down. Up and down. It gets like cloudy and then not outside. That's why the lighting keeps changing. And then once you feel like you've blended it as much as possible with the brushes, back to the Beauty Blender. And dab it and drag it up. Dab and up. And for the cheeks, I'm going to be using a Tarte blush. This is in Entertain. And I'm going to be using my Battalion Tools 959, which is just like it's a little bit denser, but it's so small that it just fits on that cheek area. So these are like very easy to build, meaning they have a lot of pigment in them, so start slow. So just put it right on the apple of your cheeks. You see how with this, when I smile, it's just perfectly right in this area. If I bring it too close, that's when we can have problems in starting to look red. So just dab and drag up. Dab and drag up. And then we are going to finish the eyes out. For the eyes, I totally could have done this step beforehand, but I completely forgot. So we are going to line our eyes. We're just going to grab the water line. Yeah, the 24... I can't open this. Okay, the 24/7 water line from Urban Decay in Rail, which is just a really dark brown. And so pretty much, I'm going to repeat myself so many times. Since it's going to be an angelic springy tutorial, and we want to make our eyes bigger, to achieve that, we're going to pretty much just line the entire regular lash line, but the thicker it is in the middle, the more it'll open up it'll make it seem like your eyes are more round and open. So just go ahead and do that. Thicker in the center. You see how it just see, like this one just looks like this one looks more open. Anyways, so once you practically just laid everything down, you're gonna grab a slanted brush, eyeliner brush, and you're gonna grab a little bit of the product right off of the. You're gonna brush the brush through the product to pick up a little bit more, and we're just gonna make sure everything is smooth. And if you are like me, you're also, well, I have like really, like, I don't know, I've been told that I have bug eyes before, and I don't know if that is just because someone said that I think I have bug eyes. So, meaning I'm gonna put a little bit of a wing to the side to make them a little bit more elongated, but nothing too crazy because we still want them rounder than usual. So just a little baby flick out here, just like that. You see, it makes a tiny bit of a difference. Enough for my eyes so that I don't look too crazy. And then again, just keep smoothing everything out with a brush. That looks good. Just like that. And then, this is where the fun part comes. So pretty much the idea for the lower lash line is that we're kind of going to be like fairies. I don't know if that even makes sense. The idea is that it to just kind of make it look like glitter is falling from your lower lash line. It'll look cute, I promise. So I'm going to grab this other slanted brush from the Urban Decay Naked 3 thing that I got. And I'm going to dip into Pop, which is this like loose, it's a very loose pigment, metallic-y type of color. Focus. Yeah. But since it's so loose, it kind of looks like glitter. So we're going to grab a little bit of that with the brush. And you're going to want to deposit most of it in the inner corners. And then whatever you have left, drag it all the way across the waterline. And once you've deposited, so that was just one sweep. And we are going to build until you feel comfortable with it. But this time I'm going to wet my brush, just because it'll make it pop a little bit better. And you want it, I mean, you're going to get it wet, but you want it to dry it to the point where it's damp. So my brush is now damp. And I'm going to put it in there, pick up some product, and again, inner corner. And you see that? Ooh, it makes a difference. And then we're going to, again, drag it down. But this time, you want to make sure the pointy side of it is in your lash line, and then you're going to drag like down in a sideways motion so that we get the glitter is falling from my lash line look. And this is one of those looks that I know. It's fun, but I think it's definitely wearable. And you look cute, trust me. And you can stop it right there if that's enough for you, but I'm going to go back in and dip. And just drag. And if you have really tiny eyes though, like do you see how this opens? Like all of this is opening this eye a lot, which is fine, but if you feel like you need even a little bit more, what you can do is just grab like a naked, grab a skin tone or white. I feel like white is too much, but if that's your thing, go ahead. So a nude tone eyeliner and just run it in your waterline all over, so that'll open your eyes more. And the last step is going to be, for the eyes, the eyelashes. But I have like a whole ritual, so I'm going to do that off camera. But what I do use is the Benefit They're Real Tinted Primer. So I do that one. And then I use the Better Than Sex Mascara, because it's my favorite. And that is it. So I'm going to do that off camera, and I'll be right back, and then we can finish the face. We have tiny bit ways to go. Alright, so I already did my eyelashes. I put a little bit on the bottom lower lashes, but not too much. So to finish the face, I'm going to use this Pure Afterglow Illuminating Powder. Usually I would use cream since it is daytime, but like I said, I misplaced a few of my items that I would usually use, so that's not going to happen. But I would use the Moonstone cream from Becca. That's the one I would use. Even though this is like a nice glow, like you see all of this, because of the primer and all the lotions that I used, but it's not enough for me. So if it's enough for you, then leave it there. But if not, if you want to kick it up a notch, like 2 notches, use the cream by Becca. I think it was Moonstone. Yeah, pretty sure it was Moonstone, the one I have. But if you want to kick it up just a tiny bit, just use this Afterglow illuminating powder from Pure. I really like this. This is the only powder I like for daytime because it's just not, I don't know, it just looks better in daytime than like the Becca illuminating powders. I love Champagne Pop, but not for daytime. More for like evening and night. But I don't know, for some reason this one just, it's really nice. So I'm going to grab my A Cosmetics fan brush and I'm going to take it at the highest point of my cheekies, up here. Blend it down. The nose a little bit, up here in this brow area. Cupid's bow. And then I'm just going to kind of, see? You see this? Yes! It's just, I don't know, it looks nice. Anyways, if you feel like you need a little bit more cheek stuff though, just go back in with a brush. I didn't put any more product on this from when we last grabbed it, but this will do. And you are all set with the face. We're completely done with the face now. For the lips, one of my missing products that I used that I really liked for this look is the Urban Decay, their sheer lipsticks in the color Obsessed, which is just like a really nice bright pink. I loved how it looked. But since I don't have that, and I don't really have pinkies because I don't like pink colors on me, I'm just going to use the lip gloss. And I'm going to be using the Marvelous Moxie Bare Minerals one in Birthday Babe. But if you wanted to leave it like this, you could. So we're just going to grab this. Just like that. See, it would look prettier if this was like a brighter pink. But gotta work with what you got. So this is the look. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any suggestions or anything, comment. If you like the video, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. And I hope to see you guys soon.